Acheson, artist legacy.
Welcome to part 1 of 3 of how to paint this painting. It's a 40 by 50 centimeter in size on linen canvas. It's an acrylic painting. Let's get started. I started filming partway through doing this painting. So at this point I'm now adding some more yellow, now with a 30mm brush. And I'm going over with a second coat of the light yellow so that it covers the darker areas that show through on the first layer. Adding the yellow where I think it needs to go, and then of course removing any areas that I think are a little bit too heavy. Flip the canvas to get different perspectives. In this painting I'll be flipping the canvas many times, looking at different things that are emerging from the painting. This was one where I flipped many times, rotated the canvas many times. To see what I could, what images were coming out of the painting. The painting tells you what it wants, I feel. And interpreting that and going with that is the challenge. This is an interesting orientation. Adding some green, very colorful at this point. I have no preconception of what I'm going to paint. I just try to stay open to suggestions from the painting and react intuitively as much as possible. I listen to music while I'm painting, not loudly, but you could. Right now I'm listening to Martin Ray with no vocals. His music I find very good for this painting. I like all types of music. So that's a part of the process, listening to some music in the background. I have painted before without music playing. Depends on what you want to do. Easy going that way. But I tend to be more focused when I'm by myself. In my little zone where I can react intuitively, doing this abstract work. It's an emotional process. I like this quote speaking of bands, the Stranglers, back from the late 70s. Hugh Cornwell, who was the lead singer and guitarist for the band, one of the lead singers. I like his quote. He said, I think recording a song is an emotional process, something that is a statement, and it can't be labored out for months and months and months. It's got to be executed rather like a painter, like an artist does a painting or a sketch. They've got to be done. Very rarely should one be allowed to go back and tamper with stuff, because they're snapshots in time of one's experience and creativity. So it's about getting it done in a short amount of time. Not rushed, but expressed during that time. We have painters like de Kooning back in the day. He would do a painting, it would take him, he would revisit old paintings and, a year or two to complete a painting before he released it or before it was taken out of his studio. And at one point, while it was in the gallery, I heard that he was actually touching up one of the paintings in the gallery. So, is the painting ever done? Or was it done the first day? Or in the first half hour? 45 minutes, hour? That's the question. This painting here took me a couple days. I think when you can't do anything more with the painting, you look at it and you feel like, okay, that's pretty much, I'm happy, I'm content, and there are no issues with certain sections of the paintings anymore to be fixed. Then it's done. So here we're working with some black. This orientation, I see that mouth on the right. It's like some kind of I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like a mouth of some kind, a big mouth, open mouth, a little scared looking, maybe with the eye there, top right. Some kind of a creature. That's not particularly what I'm looking for, so I'll flip the canvas and see if I can't find something a little bit more interesting from this angle. I like this angle at this point, this position or orientation of the canvas. So I think about creating interesting paint combinations, brush strokes, textures, light to dark. The color combinations that fit. Now we're in the landscape position. What do you think of that orientation? I'm thinking to myself. I'm also applying paint where I think it might be interesting. To the position of some of the other things around it. Hoping that it might trigger the next move. So really stuck on that mouth of that creature, if you will. So thought I might change that a little bit. It's like a reddy orange. Oh my gosh. Well, pressed too hard on the top of that canvas there. It's not harnessed down, the canvas. So it just leans back, and it could fall, but it doesn't hurt the painting. It landed well. I'm just covering over those scratch marks I made with the big putty knife, or the trowel. All kinds of different tools are being used here. I go from brush to trowel to rag, to putty knife, to palette knife. Big brushes, small brushes, mostly bristle brushes, natural, stiffer, fibered brushes, sometimes a soft brush. This painting is quite complicated, I feel. I guess I was a little perplexed, so I was really working hard on this one. Not sure of where to go with different things. Also, I forgot to mention charcoal. Of course, I do a little bit of doodling with the charcoal, adding in some lines, some cross-hatching, highlights. This is also an interesting orientation. I like the colors. I don't like to fashion down the canvas because it restricts me from rotating the canvas when needed. It's pretty firm and strong where it's seated now. So that's not a problem. Flip it again. Working on the eye section. Adding some more charcoal. Working with the cave, or what, you know, I'm not sure what that is. Is that some kind of a aquatic section top right there? Or is that an eye? Still in the discovery process, discovering what's emerging from the canvas here. Putty knife there with the yellow. It's a 40 by 50 canvas, so it's medium size, let's say. Try the red now. I wasn't sure which red to go with. A slightly more stop sign red, or a little bit of a darker red, straight out of the tin. You can darken it or lighten it, of course. So maybe by putting some of this red over top will now force me into a new situation. We have to take a risk in order to make a change. So I'll try the red here. Another red little line here jutting out into the canvas. Bit of a sharp, pointy looking piece of red there. With the curvy red section. Palette knife, some scratching and moving of the paint with the palette knife. The palette knife is very good also for dispensing paint out of the tin, or the type of paint container I have. It's good for mixing paint and also for applying paint and scratching and removing paint from the canvas. It's a great tool. Removing a little bit of the red with the rag, the wet rag. Some palette knife work with the red on the left side now. And that should do it for this segment. And that concludes part 1 of how to paint this painting. If you'd like to see part 2, check the link below. And we'll see you there. Bye for now.